to my team. Олег Иванов, Ольга Часовская, Артур Алексанян, and Mikhail Galvin. We are a fusion. We would like to thank Cima GBC for this opportunity to be here in South Africa. And even though we flew half the world, it still feels like we're at home here. You know, landscapes are beautiful, cities big and amazing, and even the weather is the same. Yeah. But actually, it's winter here and summer in Russia, but still. So, if you like the house tour, you will enjoy Moscow too, so welcome to Russia. And now let's move on to the business. We have been given additional information and have been asked to assess a new proposal. So to do that, we will start with strategic analysis in order to understand how to deal with the proposal. Then we will assess this proposal using following framework: market, company, and competition. After assessing proposal and giving our recommendation, we will cover ethical issue. And at the end, we will summarize our points.
So the first step in analyzing this proposal is to understand Jot's position in the industry. So toy industry is characterized by fierce competition. It is also low concentrated, as top 7 companies have only 11% market share. The biggest players are Mattel, Hasbro, and Pigeon. We also see on the slide that Jot is a small company, but intensive use of technologies has provided it with really high growth rates, exceeding industry growth by almost 10 times. Low loyalty of consumers is one of the features of toy industry. Consumers can easily switch between different brands. That is why it's crucial for company success to follow trends. And as we can see on the slide, Jot has really ambitious plans to expand its business. Sales in value and volume will double, along with operating margin growth of 25%. 14 more countries will be covered during this period also.
To achieve such an ambitious plan, the company should think about its further development. And there are several ways for development. They are market penetration, product development, market development, and diversification. Besides the plan to expand its business in Asia and entering into the Russian market, Jot thinks about new business segments. And here comes the proposal of Alana Lotz to come to a new segment of 9 to 11-year-old group with a new sorter.
The first step in our framework is market. We know that Jot has presence on the 2 out of 6 market segments. That's why it has really great opportunity for business development, just going to another segment. So it's reasonable to go to a 9 to 11-year-old segment. Why exactly this segment? There are 2 points. The first one is that it's always better to go to adjacent segments because it will better support the whole portfolio. And the second segment is that this can not only bring new audience, but also will keep loyal consumers who have grown up and come to the next age group. We can also see on the slide that toy and games market will grow, and by 2015, 9 to 11-year-old segment will be almost 20 billion euro. But the second question is, what products will ensure successful launches on 9 to 11-year-old segment? And we can see that new electronic toy, circuitry toy, actually really in line with current trends. And there are active learning, creative play, and also science and education. So we suppose that this product will be successful on this market.
The second point is to analyze this issue from company side. There are 2 areas: financials and internal capabilities to assess. We suppose that this proposal is acceptable. We made some assumptions to assess this proposal. First of all, that the product's life cycle is 3 years, and that the sales will be equally distributed through the product's life cycle. It has 50,000 units per year. you see that the overall profit amounts to 1.5 million euro during the product life cycle. And the break-even point is 25,000 units. That is 6 times less than the planned number of toys to be sold. And we suppose that it is easily to achieve break-even because the market is very huge. And also, all the cash flows during the product life cycle and to the total NPV is positive. And because of that, we accept this proposal. But to assess this proposal and overall, we should see it by means of overall company's cash flows. And we see that the JOT will face negative cash flow in 2013. This is connected with substantial initial investments and moreover, the overdraft facility will be totally used during this year. We should remember that there is no opportunities to raise new loans, and more, we are very dependent on our customers. We pay earlier than get the cash from the customers, and we should take into account this position.
And after financials, we should check internal capabilities of the company. So here is 2 sides, and first we should ask, can it be made in time? Because usually it takes between May and December to create a new toy, but here we need to have only 2 months. And yes, it can be done with high premium of $300,000 for urgency. But on the other side, there are some negative sides of this proposal because 2 months is too short period for creating a new toy, and there may be a high risk of making mistakes. And on toy fairs that are held in January, we can just fail with our toy, and it will be a big damage to the company. And the other negative aspect is that in-house design of toy is too costly.
The third point in our analysis is connected with competition. We see that only Elenka Electronics has a really good portfolio. It has over 20 models of this electronic toy. They are priced from $30 to more than $100 per one. So we see that Elenka has a really good presence on the market. That is why for JOT it's crucial to choose the right pricing policy. So let's move on to the pricing.
And here are rising pricing issues. At the top you can see what we have now from Alana's last proposal, and she recommends the retailer's price to be 45 euro per unit, while JOT price to retailer would be 32 euros per unit. And this will create a margin of 40% for retailers, which is considered by our team to be rather low, because as we know, retailers mainly trade with items which are of 50 to 100% of margin. And we decided to consider 2 options here, how to create this at least 50% margin for them. The option 1 is to decrease JOT's to retailer price from 32 to 30 euros per unit, and this will affect JOT's margin. And the second option is to increase the retailer's price, and this will also create 50% of margin for retailers, but we think that we cannot afford this price increase because we are a new company on this particular market, and so we go with the first option. And here you can see our pricing strategy. What we offer here is a price of 30 euro per retailers and 28 for wholesalers, because in initial Alana's last proposal there were no price for wholesalers and it should be lower than the price for retailers. As you can see, this all will create an average gross margin at approximately 13%.
Basing on new pricing policies, we calculated the new figures of this issue. You see that the overall profit decreased and the break-even point increased, but nevertheless, the cash flows and net present value are still positive, and because of that, this project is to be implemented as a winning one. But after all these issues, after all sides are covered of this issue, we should make our recommendations. We recommend to delay the implementation of this project for 6 months to the next year, because JOT has no resources to do it now. Then it is also should be checked the cost of in-house design, because it 2 times higher than usual initial investments. Of course, it is recommended to change pricing policies. The price for retailers should be set as €30 and for wholesalers as €28. And but going back to the problems with cash deficit, we should raise additional financing.
And after assessing a proposal, we should cover ethical issues. Alana was shown unprofessional behavior because she didn't inform the board about meeting with retailers, and her action may harm JOT's reputation, and it's not acceptable. Also, her decisions were premature because and estimates were inaccurate, and she acted in a wrong way just because she wanted just to launch something and to enter the segment. So what do we recommend to do? First of all, we should explain Alana that the reputation is very important for JOT. And also we need to publish ethics codes, so to clear areas of responsibility between managers. And also we think that it's advisable to keep her mentor for a while.
So let us summarize what we recommend once again. And for the circuit toy market entrance, we recommend to delay the entrance for 6 months and to settle a new pricing policy for both retailers and wholesalers. Although also we need some additional funding to do this. For the problem of unprofessional behavior, we should set a mentor to Alana lots for some time and to publish internal ethics code in order to bring clarity within the overall internal procedures within the company. And all these actions will lead to gaining a position in new market and segments, from 9 to 11-year-olds, to clear corporate relations within the company, and the company will remain financially sound.
So usually people think that there are just only two ways to success. The right way and the wrong one. But actually, the way to success consists of many mistakes. And we hope that besides challenges and difficulties, the next step of JOT will be successful. So thank you for your attention, and we're ready and will be happy to answer your questions.